Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your StockMiner Brian Johnson. We are out of Harley Week. We have the Sturgis Bike Rally here every year, and the Harley riders are now gone from the premises for about the last week or so. We are getting ready for school, and finally, after a long awaited amount of time, we finally got an actual move in the markets. It was a good move, strong move today. The internals confirmed everything seemed to be flowing pretty well. It wasn't a major move, but it was a good start for all intents and purposes. Let's take a look at the charts and see where we're at. Now, we've been wandering sideways you can see right here. This started about the 6th of August. Look, we didn't get any kind of movement until over here and into the 20th. Even then, it really wasn't all that much. We moved from 13.1 to about 13.2. Woohoo! In what, 2 weeks? So really wasn't a whole lot to talk about. Even coming into this morning, even coming into today, we had a push up in the markets, but we still only reached about 13.3. So 13.1, 13.3, 200 points in what, 2 weeks? Come on. Just not a lot going on by the Bulls. Now, the Bears came in and they drug it down a good portion of the day. Have not seen that in quite a while. First real, I would call it, real bearish action, and that's just based on the internals and the fact that they just absolutely ground the markets down. Once they got going, it was a slow bleed all day. Even in the after hours, I'm watching and we're up maybe a little, but really not a whole lot to speak of. So could be that we end up low basing here and then dropping even one more time. There are multiple ideas out there. Mega bull move coming, mega bear move coming. I'm going to be upfront with you guys. I quite honestly, I can see both of those scenarios. I really can. So I'm very neutral in this area. I see potential for a strong move up, and I think there's good reason to see that. I think, I'll tell you why. We're coming into an election year, obviously. We are in an election year. We've got a couple months left before the elections happen. Tomorrow, the FOMC comes out and speaks tomorrow afternoon. I think everybody's in eager anticipation to find out if they're going to pass some more stimulus to kind of jumpstart the economy. China's not doing well. Europe's not doing well. Everything's starting to slow down. If nothing's done, the markets are going to drop. However, in an election year, if Obama wants the best opportunity at re-election, it would be in his best interest to try to pass some sort of stimulus of some sort to help the middle class. That'll be the voters he's basically fighting for. This would be the time to do it. And if that's the case, then watch the market skyrocket. So, there you have it. Listen, there's a good chance that that could happen. Okay. If nothing's done and the markets are left to their own devices, we are extremely extended up here. I'll be honest, okay, I want to get bearish in the worst way. I can't. I just can't do it. I can't get committed to the bear side. I haven't seen any real strength come into the markets yet from a bear side. When it happens, I know I'll still have plenty of time to get in and make some money to the short side, but I don't want to fight the bulls in the meantime. So it's just not worth it. But we're very extended up here. So I see a great play from a bear side. For those of you that cover Elliott Wave, I've got in the newsletter, I cover some very good Elliott Wave counts, both bullish and bearish. But I can't get sold, to be honest. I can't get sold on either one. I'm going to let the markets tell me what to do. I would highly recommend you do the same. Don't get caught. Don't play the amateur. All right. Don't just guess, oh, the market's definitely going down. The economy's bad and everything's terrible right now. It's got to go down. No, it doesn't have to go down. It don't got to do anything. Don't be one of those guys. Don't get caught up in that. So wait for the markets. Where is that point? Well, look, I've got some lines drawn in here that we were kind of watching from last week. Look at this very well-defined channel we had right here. It wasn't really a channel. It's a high base is what it is. We broke that and we proceeded to the upside. Now we've come back into that, that same area. All right, so things still stand. We get back below this line, I like the short. If we can get back above these highs, I like the long. It's really pretty clear. Being at the 13.2 mark, guess what? You got 100 points this way and 100 points that way, and there's your entry. I think you should be looking for those. I would caution you coming into tomorrow with the FOMC meeting minutes or whatever they're going to come out with. I would caution you against doing anything before that happens. Wait until after they speak. Let the market do what it's going to do for about 15 minutes to a half an hour, and then look to make an entry. That's the best way to play those. Best way to play those. Let's jump to the daily. We came into this overhead right here and look how it was turned back. We had it turned back over here. I could extend that back a little way. So we've got here and here and here and now over here. So a nice attempt by the bulls to get it up and over this area. But that was when the selling came in. Can it hold? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It makes a beautiful look from like a double top formation, but listen, we start pounding our way against this thing, it's going to break, it's going to move up, and it's going to proceed. The bears really need to hold this area. It is very important that they do that. So there could be a really good fight up here in this area. All right, so into this area, look, we tried to proceed past it, we couldn't. It was thrown back. So now, as I said, I've laid it all out for you. We get back below 13.1, I love it. It's back below the 20-day. The NASDAQ here is in a big kind of a channel, kind of a rising wedge type look. It got stymied by its overhead, which is sitting around 2,800. Still like things here, but way back below 2,700 is the safer place. Apple has been running very well, but today it had its first bigger tumble. Back down quite a bit. If that bearish sentiment keeps up, that will drag the NASDAQ with it. It'll take it down. I'm not a big shorter of the NASDAQ, but I do like it back below this 2,700-ish area. I know that's a ways away, but with the NASDAQ, if you're going to play it short, I think you should be on the more cautious side. In all cases, 2,700 for sure. From a daily perspective, look, tried to hit that, pulling back, same thing, 2,750 and ultimately 2,700. I'm really liking these 20-day moving averages moving forwards from the bear side. If you look at the weekly, you can see that now we're only 2 days into it. It's not a big deal, but we did hold these overhead levels. So this weekly becomes mega crucial going forward. So where this closes Friday will be of great interest to me. SPX 60-minute also in kind of a big move up. Here you can see a couple of places to watch. Love this 1430, but to the short side, guys, listen, 1405, 1395. This is the same type of spot we have on the Dow. I really like this to the short side for the bears. Looking at a daily too coincides with that 20-day. Okay, I like the 20-day. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking to see that if we can actually grind our way down into this area, will it hold? Will it be enough to bounce this market back up again? So, do we high base? Do we pull back? I don't know yet. It's way too early. It's 1 day. Keep in mind that we held this channel. Look at how well defined this channel is. Today we try to punch above it, hit these highs, pushed right back below it. So the bears are doing their job. They're holding on to this area. We've hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 was the doji yesterday, and then the move to the downside. So it's holding well. The blue line works. Funny enough, you get those lines drawn in the right place, you'd be amazed at how well this stuff kind of follows the charts. It really does. It's just a matter of education and getting it in the right spot. But this one worked perfect. Loving that. Now, that doesn't mean it can't base sideways and stick around here and create some space to move up, but that'll be the big $64,000 question going forward. Are we going to high base? Are we going to pull back? What are we going to see here? So we have a couple of lines in the sand to be watching going forward, both long and short. From the VIX perspective, look, a huge move down. I was on and on and on about this last week. Wow, look, we're into the 15 range. Look, we got into the 13 range. We haven't seen that since 2007. We even went lower, 1330. Now, you want to talk about an attempt to get long the VIX? Oh, baby. I was salivating. I thought I missed it. To be honest, I thought I missed it. I kind of drew this in, kind of show you it's kind of in a falling wedge right here, which is actually a bullish pattern. But when it got down here into the 1370 mark, and then bounced, I thought I missed it. I was like, you're stupid. But mana, as it rolled over and came right back down, I got another opportunity to get long the VIX, and it's worked out very, very nicely so far. Still not enough to be convincing of any kind of a major bear move. The markets just haven't moved a ton. I mean, it's not like they've destroyed what the bulls have done for the last week or 2 weeks or whatever. They start getting some acceleration, and it won't take them long, I'll tell you that. When the bears start to get going, boy, it is hard to stop that chainsaw from buzzing. But the VIX, look, you know how I feel about the VIX. Anything below 20 shows complacency. Below 15 shows extreme complacency. We're still at around 15. There's still a lot of complacency in the market. Now, even the market's getting a little bit nervous about, okay, isn't it time for a little bit of a pullback? So you're seeing the VIX bounce a little bit, and it's working nice. Look, it was up 7% today. Now, we were down in the markets about 0.5%, so it's not necessarily, it did confirm what we saw today, but in a much larger way. We'll see if this thing can continue. Let's just keep in mind, this is still complacency down here. It was just extreme complacency, so it had to bump itself back up to kind of stay within this, what is looking like now a falling wedge. Here's the weekly, same story, different verse, way low. Now we're back into the 15s. I'll be more curious about where this closes at the end of the week, but look, still extreme complacency down here by the markets. There's no real fear coming in yet. Here's your FAS and your FAZ. I want to pay attention to these. Very nice, well-defined channels to the upside. Back above 100, that's the big dog. I like FAS back above 100, and I like it back below 95. Those will be your marks to watch over the next few days. 195 for your trades. Here we put in what could be construed as a shooting star. Oh, I should have quizzed you on that. Anyway, shooting star candle. Potential for a reversal here. I'm not sold on it yet because I'll be honest, I'm not convinced that the bulls are done or that they won't move higher. I mean, we've seen these pullbacks before, and it seems to be met by bullish buying in no great way, just seems to grind its way back up again. But the point is, the bulls keep winning, and after one day, I'm certainly not going to jump on the bear bandwagon quite yet. They got to prove it to me first. Let the bulls have their moment here. But it looks like, maybe a shooting star, so we'll see if there's any follow through tomorrow. FAZ then, of course, in a channel to the downside. I like it back above this 2075 mark, guys. You want to get long the FAZ, something like that? You got to wait. Be patient with it. I know that's another 50 cents or so away at least, but come on, just be cautious with this. Don't get wrapped up in, oh wow, look, we had 1 day of upwards motion. This must be the bounce, and then panic about it. No, it bounced a little bit, but look, it bounced perfectly off a lower support line, and it came right back into a perfect upper resistance area. It's just doing what it's supposed to be doing. So there's still some things to be worked out within the markets. Don't get too bearish yet for those of you that want to be. Of course, this one putting in what would be construed as maybe a hammer candle today. There's a little bit too much wick on the top, but close enough, whatever. Still like to see it back above these overhead areas before I really get into it. This is your larger one to watch. This is the larger channel to be tracking. We tried to get back below 20, and it pulled it back up and managed to save it today. But look, the Fed says anything half decent or the markets decide to rally tomorrow, this thing's back below 20. So I like this thing. If it'll drop below, let's just say 1950, that's not a bad shorting opportunity. And then 2075, is it 2075 or 2175 to the long side? Sorry, 2075 to the long side on FAZ. All right, guys, that'll do it. There you have it. Finally getting a little bit of movement, a little bit of up here, a little bit of down there. Overall, we have not destroyed in any way, shape, or form what the bulls have done over the past umpteen weeks. Don't get too bearish yet. Everybody wants to try to call the top, but there will be time, okay? There will be time to get back on the bear bandwagon if this turns into something more bearish. Just don't jump the gun. Wait for these lower levels to be broke, then take your shot. Sometimes they don't stick the first time, and that's okay. Try again on another attempt. All right, newsletter, $28 a month, guys. That's $1 a day. Sign up for it. It's well worth your time. The mentoring, getting a few requests here and there for information, but if you guys really want to know how to do what we do and make this a full-time job, the mentoring is how you do it. Contact me, get a hold of me. Let's see if it's a match for you, and we'll try to work some stuff out. Let's see, I'm coming out of August and into September, so definitely got some slots open. Love to be talking to some of you coming into the September-October timeframe about the mentoring itself. Send me emails on that. Okay, guys, we'll be back with you again later. I'm always trying to do a Thursday video, and I just get so busy I never seem to be able to do it. But I'll continue, especially if we get any kind of motion. We really haven't had much happen over the last week. There hasn't been a reason to do two in a week. But if we start to get some real motion, I'll definitely do all I can to get another one out to you during the week and catch you up on stuff. All right, guys, stick with me. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.